Well, hello there. Welcome to the House of D. Today, we're going to talk about how Star Wars, The Knights of the Old Republic, is going to be a movie franchise soon. Now, I don't have any insider information. Disney hasn't made any sort of announcement, but I'm just reading the environment that we're in now and really surmising what's the best play here for the Star Wars franchise going forward. Now, obviously, as a Star Wars fan, it's been a really tough year. Back in September, Disney announced that they would be slowing down the release of their Star Wars content, and mostly due to the fact that Solo and The Last Jedi, they really weren't received well. And I definitely agree with the Solo. I think there was a lot of missed opportunity there. But The Last Jedi, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't agree with all the directions per se, but I thought it was a great movie. But nonetheless, the lull that those two pieces of content created caused Disney to say, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna slow down on Star Wars." So that's what. Oh, you know what? Let me take this phone call here real quick. I'm sorry. Hey, Volsker, what's going on? Oh, I know. I'm enjoying the Mandalorian TV show as well. I mean, it's so awesome. We get to see, so much of the Star Wars universe be expanded and learn about the Mandalorian culture. Oh yeah, yeah, I've got it right here. Yeah, Jedi: The Fallen Order. This is a great, great masterpiece game that I'm having a ton of fun with. So you enjoying it too? You enjoying the Star Wars video game? Oh, I know. And Episode 9 is going to be out here in less than a couple of weeks. Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, yeah, check with you later. Okay. Sorry about that. Was just talking with Volsker, about the lack of Star Wars content and because, Disney slowed the Star Wars content down. I digress. So obviously it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan because despite them releasing this slowdown of content, as I just displayed to you, we've got a Star Wars show. I'm playing a Star Wars video game. Episode 9 is coming out later this month, so I'm not feeling the slowdown of the Star Wars content, and boy am I glad. And that's why I think we are definitely going to get a KOTOR movie. KOTOR, of course, standing for Knights of the Old Republic. Because Darth Revan is an extremely popular character. He was made popular, of course, in Knights of the Old Republic video game all the way back in the original Xbox days. We do see his story come to a conclusion in the Star Wars MMO. So for the 5 people that still play that game, you may remember that as well. But it's because of the fact of where we are now with Star Wars. We're seeing that it's not people aren't tired of Star Wars. People just want great Star Wars content, and we're getting that. The Mandalorian, awesome. Jedi: The Fallen Order, awesome. We'll see how Episode 9 is, but we've already got more shows planned for the Disney Plus app. They're going to do a 7th season of the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series. So Star Wars is alive and popping. And I can absolutely attest to the fact that they've got to do a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And I'm sure you've seen the images, and if not, here they are on the screen of Keanu Reeves playing Darth Revan. That is pure genius. Pure genius. Keanu Reeves is very popular right now. We know that he can do great action. We've seen it in The Matrix. We've seen it in the John Wick movies. I mean, so it's a perfect fit for Darth Revan. And, for those of you that don't know, like I said, Darth Revan was introduced in the Knights of the Old Republic game. You actually play as him, and his story does kind of conclude in one of the raids in the Star Wars MMO that is still operational, and you can still play if you're one of the 5 people that gives a shit. But what is unique about Darth Revan is we've certainly heard of Jedi's becoming Sith, Sith becoming Jedi's. But Darth Revan has done both. By the time his story concluded, he was both Sith and Jedi. I have never, and I know a lot about Star Wars. I'm not saying I know every single nook and cranny, but I know a lot. And let me tell you, no other character is a Sith and a Jedi at the same time. You know, he starts off as a Jedi back in the Old Republic, and him and his friend Malik, they find this Star Forge, which is just this huge space station that was left there by an old technological empire called the Rakata Empire, and it just enabled them to make an army, and they were able to challenge the Republic. But as Sith do, you know, there were two of them. Now, this wasn't at the time during the rule of two, but nonetheless, there were basically two main Sith, Revan being the most powerful, so it was agreed that he would be the Dark Lord of the Sith, and Darth Malak would be his apprentice. Now, as Sith do, they scuffle, they fight, something happens to Revan, the Jedi get a hold of him, and through some Force technique, like sever him from the Force and make him start over again. And that's what you do in the Knights of the Old Republic video game for the Xbox. And you could choose between light and dark, which was a really cool game mechanic back in the day. So, but eventually, you know, Revan does go back to the dark side, and again, he becomes that Jedi slash Sith. So a very, very interesting character. There was Knights of the Old Republic 2, and while it didn't deal with, you know, Darth Revan directly, he was still certainly a part of that story. And then we see that the Revanites and Darth Revan, they have their place in the MMO, which is a canon video game. So Darth Revan is actually already canon, and we just need to bring the KOTOR storyline, the KOTOR time period into the movies, because there's no restrictions. You can do anything you want in the Knights of the Old Republic era, and that's what makes it so attractive to Star Wars nerds like me who, you know, we don't want to be tied down with the Star Wars legacy all the time. And that's why I think The Mandalorian is showing us that us Star Wars people, we don't want you to slow down. We just want you to create quality stuff. And The Mandalorian does that in spades and has really convinced me that absolutely they can do new Star Wars storylines away from the Skywalker lineage, and it'd be a great, great experience. So there you go, guys. There you have it. That's why I truly believe that Star Wars, The Knights of the Old Republic is going to be the next big Star Wars saga that we see. And I really, really hope and pray that they do somehow get Keanu Reeves to be Darth Revan. I just think it's too perfect. Well, tell me what you think. Do you think I'm right, or do you think I'm crazy? Put some comments below. Let me see what you think. What do you think should happen in the next, you know, epic saga of Star Wars after, you know, Rise of the Skywalker is complete? Do you think it should be after Rise of the Skywalker, or are you like me and you want to go way, way back before the Battle of Yavin and see what the Old Republic era has to offer? Guys, if you want to give me, you know, a follow on Twitter, please do so at dsquare72. I would love to interact with you on there. I do post daily, whether it just be little quips or news stories here or there. Sometimes it's just random thoughts from yours truly. You can also catch me on Twitch, on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/dsquare72. And I also do small press reviews on superheroespeak.com, so you can always check me out there as well. But until next time, guys, peace and love, and we'll see you again soon.